What's really good? What's really hood? It's your man Jay.
It's your man Twan.
And this is
Tech Taste Daily.
I like sci-fi.
I like sci-fi too.
I have not been keeping up with the show that apparently is like the best thing on television from what I hear.
I remember I told you about it a couple of years ago, and you were salty because I hadn't told you about
I
it.
was mad. I watched the first season and then I got sidetracked and I haven't caught up since.
So, it's been dope. It's been dope, by the way. By the way, the show that we're talking about is The Expanse.
Expanse. We did not say that yet.
So there it is. The Expanse is the show, don't you know? And I have been watching The Expanse all through the trials and tribulations. In fact, it was on the Sci-Fi Channel before, I think, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And then they did like 2 seasons, or was it 3 seasons? And then they canceled the show.
I think it was 2 seasons, man.
Was it 2 seasons?
Yeah.
And they canceled the show. The show was over. And it was like, no! Like, you remember that movie, that show, Serenity?
Yeah, yep. Mm-hmm.
Same, like, they canceled that show and everybody was all into it and people were all upset.
But there was no Jeff Bezos back
But there was no Jeff Bezos to save it. So what happened with The Expanse when they ended is, like, that was one of Jeff Bezos' favorite shows. And so he basically bought the show and put it on Amazon Prime and guaranteed, like, what, another 4 seasons.
Legendary.
Dope. So it came back. And
Could you imagine just being like, "Wait, you took my show off? Well, I'm gonna make my own TV station, and I'm gonna buy your show, and you make that show,
right?
For me.
The show is back for me, even if I'm the only one watching it." Jeff was like, "I'm watching my shit. I want to see what happens."
Gangster.
And then what happened?
Right? That's a boss move for real.
So then what happened was the show came back on, and one of the guys, if I'm remembering the comeback story correctly, the guy that plays the Martian pilot, Alex, was one of the guys that was key and instrumental in getting to Jeff Bezos' attention that the show had been canceled and getting it back on.
Oh.
Yeah. So
Legend.
by the way, if you haven't seen the show,
spoiler alert, look away. We're about to tell you how the season 5 grand finale, which aired just a couple days ago on February 3rd, I'm about to tell you how it ends because there's a spicy story that goes along with it.
Let's get into it.
So let's do this. So what had happened was the guy that plays Alex is his name. Kaz Anvar is his real name. Kaz. So he plays a Martian pilot.
This dude's sexy, huh? He got a sexy ass name. Kaz. Fuck this guy.
To take me to the Casbah. So Kaz, the Martian pilot, as I said. Oh, here, let me since you're wondering if Kaz is sexy now.
Kaz.
This is Kaz right here.
Oh, okay. Well, he doesn't look that sexy. I'm a dude, though. How would I know?
I'm sure Kaz.
Girls probably
for
completely
himself.
distribute with me.
Right? Ladies, what do you think of Kaz? What do you think of our man Kaz?
Let us know
here?
in the comments.
Or Alex, as he's called on the show.
Yeah.
Anywho, so my main man Kaz there. Let's go ahead and leave him up on screen while we talk about him.
No doubt.
So he was well, he got caught up. Let's just say that.
He got caught up.
He got caught up in the real world.
Oh!
In the show, he's like rock star status, Martian pilot. He's dope. He's on these missions with Bobby Draper, who's a big ass Martian bitch.
So he's one of the main dudes.
He's one of the main characters. That's your main characters. You're looking at
there's
the
only
screen
4.
right
Okay,
there.
so he's
there.
in there.
Bobby Draper. She's the Martian, like.
I've seen her. Yeah.
Yeah, she runs around and kills motherfuckers. 'Cause she's
stuff.
like 6 feet tall or something.
Right.
She's a big bitch.
Okay.
But anyway, she is on a mission with him, trying to save her, Naomi.
Okay.
And they're doing their thing and everything. And like I said, he was one of the key players that got the show back on the air with Jeff Bezos.
Oh, it's not only is he a key, he's that dude that. Oh,
Yeah. So like when
Oh man.
so here's the spoiler. He dies. So at the end of the show, at the end of the season 5 grand finale, episode 10, Alex dies
Oh, Kaz.
of a stroke
Talking all that jazz.
from a hard burn. Now, if you don't watch the show, the hard burn is if you don't watch the show and you're not into space and shit. A hard burn is when they're coming at a planet or coming where they want to be, and they flip the spaceship around and they burn the engines in the opposite direction that they're going. So they're coming this way, and they flip around, they burn the engines to slow down.
Nice.
Right?
And by the way, this is based on actual physics.
Oh yeah,
from what I
that's
understand,
real science,
right?
That's what I love about the show is that the science is accurate, the physics is accurate, and the only reason that they don't have no artificial gravity or any shit like that. They have gravity because they're accelerating, and accelerating if the spaceship's going that way and you're standing this way, it's like you're standing straight up. There's gravity pulling you to the floor. So when they're not accelerating, they have magnetic boots, and you can hear them going click, clack, click, clack when they walk around.
See, so props to The Expanse. I mean, just so y'all understand, like, there's a reason that this show is like the best thing that's ever happened as far as sci-fi is concerned, because it is completely authentic with the science.
Yes. Hats off to The Expanse.
Props.
So the science is dope. They do the hard burn, and as I'm sure you can imagine, if you're doing a hard burn and it's applying excessive gravity to your body, it could cause health issues.
Of course.
So what happens to Alex is he has a stroke because of the hard burn. As they're trying to save Naomi here. And unlike some other shows where a character gets into some trouble in the real world and they suddenly kill him off with no explanation, really. like Homeboy from Empire. When he all of a sudden just disappeared.
Jesse Smollett.
Jesse Smollett. Juicy Smollett. All of a sudden, he's just not on the show anymore. Like, all sudden and drastic like.
That happened, off screen. Don't worry about that.
Right? Yeah, don't worry about that. He won't be back. But with this shit, they've been talking about how, since the pilot, they've been talking about how the hard acceleration, the hard burns, the excessive G-forces can cause health problems. In fact, they go as far as to, whenever they're going to do a hard burn or do high G maneuvers, they have to get into these gravity chairs, and they're like, here comes the juice, and they press a button, and they showed the back of the chair, and some shit gets injected into them, and they all go, oh, and they show this, like, this fluid gets pumped into them so they can survive the G-forces.
Okay.
Right?
They've
been doing that since the pilot.
That's what makes it slap. That's
right. So for like 4 years, they've been saying these G-forces are dangerous. They could kill you.
Word.
Get your juice. Even with the juice, we're pushing it a little hard. They've been saying shit like that for 5 seasons. And so it's not dramatic and surprising that they're trying to catch up with her. She's going high G away from them.
Right.
And then she did some weird thing where she turned, and they're coming in hot, and they got to stop.
So the show has already set up this entire premise, so it's very believable and goes along with the plot very well.
Exactly. So it wasn't like, this motherfucker got a sexual harassment case. He's got to die. So there's the spoiler for that. That's why he had to die.
I like it.
So,
Wait. When he died, were you shocked? Were you surprised?
Yeah, because I didn't know about this sexual harassment shit.
Man, okay, we haven't even got into that part yet.
Right? So, like, you can see by the shot here, he is one of the main characters.
Right.
And also, like I said, he was instrumental in getting the show back on the air with Jeff Bezos. So, like, it's basically, in my eyes, it's his show. Because there wouldn't be no show if it wasn't for him. There's a whole big story about how it got back on the air. Jeff Bezos was at a conference, and these guys were at a conference doing something unrelated in the other room.
Right.
And this guy found out Jeff Bezos was over there, and he's like, hey, we got to go get Jeff and bring him in here. And they did some little thing. And somebody went and got Jeff Bezos and brought him in there, and they talked about how the show was going off the air and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And Jeff was like, what? I didn't know about this.
Yeah.
So they engineered Jeff Bezos being in the room so they could talk about the show going off the air and maybe get his attention. And they did. And he was instrumental in that, and then they just killed him off.
So theoretically, this is half as bad as if, like, I don't know, let's say Morty just died on Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
Half as bad because there's 4.
Right? Do the math. So, yeah, man, of anybody to die, Holden and him are the ones I least expect.
Not Kaz.
Not Kaz, not Alex.
Man.
Like Timmy or whatever his name is. I like him,
Timmy.
but I wouldn't have been surprised if he died.
Right.
Naomi, she's been causing a lot of drama, and she's been back and forth on the dark side and whatnot.
She's not
So I wouldn't be surprised if she died either. What'd you say?
She's not Caucasian.
Well, now that you put it that way, so I guess I shouldn't have been surprised if either of the people on the right died. Because he's Hispanic.
Oh, okay. Okay.
She's some kind of brown people. And these are the 2 white guys. So I wouldn't have been surprised if he died.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been
Yeah,
surprised.
I would have been the tough dude that I would have
Right?
expected to die at
I would have
everybody.
been surprised if Naomi died because she's been planting bombs
She's
and
wilding out.
wilding out,
Yeah.
doing extreme shit.
Agreed.
So it would have been like a good cleanup to kill her off because she's
doubt.
got some moral dilemmas.
So killing her wouldn't have been a surprise. But Alex, the Martian homie,
What was your reaction when you saw this happen? Were you what did you exclaim out loud?
Dude, I was tripping. I was like, what's going on here?
This can't be real.
I was like,
He's the reason the show exists. I'm sorry.
dude, no, I was tripping. I was like, this is not what I'm expecting to see. Like, what? Like anybody but him. I kept looking at it like, what? Is he gonna wake up? Like, his blood's coming out of his nose, and he's just kind of floating there. And they're like, Alex. And I'm like, Alex, wake up, dog. What's going on? And they're like, at the end, they're like, he died of a stroke from the hard burn. And I was like, oh, man.
He died of a stroke that he wanted to be on something else.
Dude, it's like, when they said he died of a stroke because of the hard burn, I was like, that makes sense, but
So what do we know about the allegations?
so apparently there were some sexual harassment allegations.
Has this been proven or is it still
Well, so there's no proof in this article, but here's what's interesting.
okay?
As soon as what's funny, the Expanse season 5 came to close on February 3rd, and in the process killed off one of its most beloved characters.
Right.
For many fans who've been watching the science fiction series since its premiere on the Sci-Fi Channel since 2015, that death may have come as a surprise.
Right.
Unless they were keeping tabs on the show's real-world production.
Oh.
So basically,
Been happening.
yeah. So, okay. So, in June, accusations of sexual harassment and sexual assault were levied against Kaz Anvar, who plays the Martian pilot of the Rocinante crew.
Was it one of the
Alex
actresses?
Canal. As reported by Deadline, both the cast and production crew quickly reacted with words of support for the alleged victims.
Ooh, that's not good.
So they immediately threw him under the bus. They weren't like, them bitches are tripping.
Right.
They're like, sorry, ladies, he's kind of a menace.
Or gentlemen.
Or gentlemen, yeah. Oh, yes. So yeah, it wasn't like they came out in his defense and had words of support for him. They quickly reacted with words of support for the alleged victims. And at that point, they're just alleged. Nothing's proven.
Okay.
So they came with support for the alleged victims immediately. And a formal investigation at Alcon Television Group ultimately concluded with the decision that Anvar would not be part of the show in season 6.
But what if these allegations prove to be false?
Apparently, they already know he's an asshole. Because they immediately came with support for the victims, and they already decided that he's not going to be part of season 6, and the investigation isn't even over yet.
Okay, it sounds...
Well, no, it says the formal investigation at Alcon ultimately concluded with the decision that he wouldn't be part of the show.
They must have something pretty intense over his head then.
Yeah.
If they would go to this length to get the main dude, the reason that the show was still on the air, they're Xing this dude, it must be
Right,
they must
it's
have
gotta
some
be
pretty
some juicy shit.
compelling proof.
Yeah.
Dag, that's
And so
fire.
apparently this has been going on all season.
Man.
So, all season long, fans who followed the news have been waiting to see how or whether his character would be written out of the show.
They already knew.
In the finale, they got their answer. Alex died of a massive stroke brought on by the high-gravity maneuvers required to save the life of fellow crewmate Naomi Nagata, played by Dominique Tipper.
Well, at least they set it up nice. You know.
Yeah, so apparently he's been on the chopping block all season long. I had no idea. I've been watching every episode with no idea this was happening. Had I known about this, I would not have been surprised at all when he died. When they were like, Alex, are you there? Alex. I was like, yeah, he's there. He's just doing some shit. And then they showed him like floating there with his arms hanging out and blood floating around in front of him because there's no gravity. The blood doesn't drip. It just floats out of your face.
Oh.
I was like, oh shit, this nigga dead. But I was like, they're gonna revive him. He'll be back in season 6. And then when you were in the other room and I was reading this article, I saw something about this earlier. I was like, something surprises fans with season 6 finale. I was like, yeah, I wasn't expecting Alex to die. I thought they were just gonna talk about that. And I read the article while you were in the bathroom, and I was like, what? What the hell?
I was wondering what you was yelling about.
Yeah, because I already saw the episode. I knew he was I knew he was dead, but I didn't know why they killed him. When I read the article, then I was like,
Okay.
now it makes sense.
Yeah.
But when I was watching the show, I was like, it didn't make any sense at all. But you know now.
Yeah. I'm glad. I mean, aren't you glad that you were not following the drama? Because
I'm glad I didn't know.
It came as
because I would have known.
It was a better experience for you because it was more surprising.
Yeah, it wouldn't have surprised me at all had I known about the sexual
You would've seen
harassment
that.
and that it's been going on the whole season. I'd have been like, how come this nigga ain't dead yet?
Right.
I would have totally
There
been
you go.
expecting. Every time he didn't answer, I'd have been like, he's dead. That nigga dead.
So yeah, man.
He wrote his ass out of the show.
For the people behind the Expanse, you know, props to you guys.
Yeah, well done.
It was dope.
Well done. That was a good kill off.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if it was really a good kill off because I don't know if the accusations are true. But if they are, that was a great exit.
Definitely.
Like better than the Empire exit. Better than when Fonzie jumped the shark. You know, it was the best, cleanest, well prepared, like they've been planning it all along, kill off that I've ever seen.
I'll tell you what it was not better than though.
What?
Charlie Sheen getting hit by a train off screen. I'm playing. That was the worst. 2.5 Men.
Yeah, I was like, that really happened?
Same scenario.
When Charlie Sheen got in trouble and they were writing him out of 2.5 Men, I just didn't watch anymore.
Oh, there you
Like,
go.
then Ashton Kutcher was on there. I watched a couple episodes. I was like, who's this guy? This doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it didn't.
So I didn't even watch the transition to see what happened. I wasn't really a loyal fan of that show.
So I guess the real question is, are they going to be able to survive? Is the show going to go on now that they don't have the main dude?
Alex, he wasn't that main. He wasn't that pivotal. I mean, he was dope. I liked him. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
But like, you could go a whole show without seeing him and everything is still dope.
Oh, well, enough. Okay, gotcha.
I mean, even Naomi. That's why I wouldn't have been surprised if she died either, because she was off on some other ship doing some other shit,
Right.
like most of the season.
Yeah.
So I mean, they flashed in and they showed her. She had her own like separate storyline and whatnot. But if that ship had got blown up and she died, it'd have been like, oh yeah, she was over there.
Well, hopefully this show goes on for another 10 seasons, man, because it's the best.
Oh, so to that end, this is the last season.
What?
This is the last season on
Prime.
Prime.
No. Okay. Bezos got sick of it?
No, he only promised 4 seasons.
Oh, yeah, only.
So it was only a 4-season deal to begin with, and that it's like you said, that was after season 2. So this is season 6 is the next season. That's the last season.
He's like, I love you guys, but you know how much money this is costing me?
Dude, it's like a fucking movie every
Because
episode.
he's been financing the whole joint, right?
Yeah. I'm sure people jumped over to Prime and he made his money back on that. And I'm not feeling sorry for him at all.
Okay.
You know.
Man.
But so wait. Before we close out, what the authors of the show said.
Yes. What'd they say?
They said, if we scroll all the way to the bottom here, they said season 6 of The Expanse will be the series' last season on Amazon Prime streaming. But the team has told Polygon that the show isn't over in the traditional sense.
Okay.
There are more stories left to tell.
Okay.
In the form of several, as of yet, unexplored novels.
Okay.
Meaning that another television series could still happen.
Yo, I'll take a television series, but you know what would be hot, though? We was talking about AMC. Godzilla versus King Kong style, boy. I don't know what a bar
An
is.
Expanse movie?
Yes.
Like Firefly.
Right.
Firefly,
Yes.
when
Serenity.
closed out, they did Firefly the movie.
Yep.
Yes.
Well, do it. That would be the move.
Yes. Let us get a movie. We
Hell
would like
yeah.
a movie, please,
Hell
Jeff
yeah.
Bezos, on Amazon Prime.
You know?
Let's get the movie.
Okay.
All right, y'all. So, season 5 of The Expanse ended with a tragic and surprising end with the death of Alex, our Martian pilot.
Oh, boy.
It's very sad. It's very tragic. But it's all good. They'll be back in season 6. No more Alex. Sexual harassment, Me Too'd him, got him done in.
Hey, you get
So
what you
there'll be
deserve.
no more of him.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, be careful. Be careful out there. Don't get Me Too'd.
Don't do it. It's not worth it.
It's not worth it.
If you like what you see and you see what you like, don't forget to like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
Tech Taste Daily, baby.
Base in the space means peace. See you later.
Tech Taste Daily.